All right, third grade, we're ready to continue our map drawings. So if I started mine last week, then first thing I need to do is figure out where I'm going to pick up with where I left off. And if I'm just getting started, start off the same way, opening up my iPad, and I'm going to slide over to the Maps app. It's on that first page, it looks like a little map. Open that up, and then I'm going to search for my address. If I'm using my home address, then I'll be able to plug that in. Otherwise, I'm using the school address, correct school address, 9275, and it should come up Peebles Road, Allison Park, PA. If I click on that, it's going to drop my pin to where we are here at school. Now, if I look at my map, what I have drawn already, I need to figure out with what I have drawn, how does it match up to what's on the map here. So if I look at mine, I have that little sort of V where the road crosses out. This is where you're coming up to the park up here. So I'm going to be able to see that all the way over on the right side of my screen. And you can see Peebles Road goes off the bottom of my paper to the right. So I need to zoom out just a little bit. And I'm going to set it up so that Peebles Road, I need to turn this a little bit. Peebles Road is going off to the right. Bottom of my paper, bottom of my map, and then I can see Babcock Boulevard going off. That's that road that crosses down here. That's that road that comes down here. So if I did an accurate drawing the last time, then I should be able to tell where everything is on my paper versus what I'm seeing on here. If it's not accurate from last time, then it's going to be a little bit trickier. So now I need to continue picking up wherever I left off. So on mine, I can see there's a lot of little side streets, and it's up to me how much detail I want to include. Am I going to include every single neighborhood line, or am I just going to include some of the major lines that cut through and connect other roads to each other? Like there's a road that goes from Peebles Road, which I did not know this, goes around over onto Hedwig Drive, and then that connects over to Babcock. And then I could drive through that little neighborhood and connect over to another road over here. So there's a lot of little details that I can go into, but I should be including at least all of these main roads going through my drawing and making sure that I have my pin in my screen at all times. So I'll set mine kind of right over here. And then when I'm looking at this, I can see that there is Presidential Drive that connects this road, which is Babcock, to Peebles over here. It starts off not too far from the intersection over here, so I'll start, and that kind of comes down, and then it makes a little bump up, then it comes over, and then it goes a little bit more diagonal and connects over here to Peebles Road. Remember that this is an observational drawing, so I should be continually looking back and forth from my map to my paper, from my map to my paper, and then I'll see where does my next line connect. This is like putting together a puzzle. So each line connects to another one somehow, but I just have to figure out how does that connect to my last line. And just like we talked about last time, don't worry about trying to fit everything on your map. Let things go right off the edge of your paper. Over here I have Presidential, and then I'm going to put that other Hedwig Drive, which I didn't even know about, which is kind of cool. How it connects, goes over, and then it goes up, pretty close to Presidential. Then it makes a really sharp turn, and then goes up just a little bit, and then kind of swoops back over, and it'll meet up with Babcock. And then I can move a little bit over this way, so I can finish up this half of my map. So this was where Hemlock Drive was, where the pool kind of connects. So I'll add that there's that little V where I can turn down into the park. And then this road continues, kind of goes across a little bit, comes back up. And I'll keep working until I have my map pretty much filled with the amount of detail that I would like. All right, now I have all of my roads that I want to include. So now what I'm going to add is my symbols. So the first symbol that I'm going to add is my starting point. That's where my pin is. But I want to think about a symbol, a picture that would represent what that thing is. So for mine, since I'm using the school, I want to think about some ideas for a symbol. I think that for me, I kind of like one of the symbols that one of the other classes came up with, and we are going to use a paw. So right down here, kind of at the bottom, I'm going to make a little paw. Now my symbol can be a little bit bigger than what my actual thing is that I'm representing on my map. So I have to think, I'm going to have to paint this. If I draw it really, really tiny, like a little paw, like that, it's going to be really hard to paint, and it's going to be hard for people to find that symbol on my map. So that's my first symbol there. And now I want to think about where are some other things on the map. If I have my house and a friend's house, then I might include a symbol for my friend. Maybe it is a heart. Maybe it's something that we always do together. So maybe when we get together, we play outside, and I'm going to think of a symbol that I could use for that. For mine, I know that North Park Pool is up here. So I'm going to think about a symbol for the pool. Maybe be thinking maybe either a raft. I think I'll do a raft, maybe with a little water around it. That shows that's where the pool is. And then, since I'm right by North Park, I'm also going to include, kind of over here is where I would drive down and then go into the park. So I'm also going to include maybe some trees to show that this is where the park is. So again, not too tiny, not gigantic, but it's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Not too big, not too small, just right. And there's one tree. Maybe I'll do a little group of trees. 2, 3. Now, if I want to have more than 3 symbols, I can, but 3 should be the absolute minimum of symbols that I have.